Hey there, it's Diane Forster. Welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. I'm so excited to be here today. It's a solo show, but I have some powerful information for you today. So, do you find yourself constantly seeking approval from others? Are you always overcommitted and struggling to say no? How about do you often people please, even at the expense of your own well being? And do you have a fear of rejection that holds you back from pursuing your goals? If you said yes to any of those questions, this show is for you today, because what I'm going to be sharing with you today is letting go of what no longer works so that you could be living more intentionally, with more passion, with more purpose, and letting go of stuff that is not serving you in your life. So how does that sound? All right. Well, if you're new here, I want to say welcome to this show. This is I Have Today with Diane Forster. We are live every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on the E360 TV television network. We're also streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. And we take our episode and we create a podcast with it in case you prefer to listen to podcasts. Great way to go to. So we are at I Have Today with Diane Forster. If you search that, it'll come right up, but that's where we are. And so we talk about the art of intentional living, and creating the life that you want needs to be intentional. It's the intention that you set for it. So I wanted to share some information with you to be self-empowered today. And that's why I thought, well, let me take some of the opportunities. They're not challenges, they're not mistakes, they're none of that, but opportunities for growth areas in your life where I could share ways to take some of those things that aren't serving you, like the need of approval and the people pleasing and the feeling overcommitted and the fear of rejection, and turn them into being more selfish. And when I say more selfish, I mean being selfish in a really good way. I talk about that in my first book, I Have Today, Find I Have Today, Find Your Passion, Purpose, and Smile. Finally, my God, remember the name of your own book, girl. Anyway, I talk about being selfish in a really good way, because if we don't take care of ourselves, who's going to do it, right? We have to take ownership of that. And it's like the mask coming down in the airplane. You got to put on yours first, right? When we nurture ourselves and we are selfish, as I'm going to explain a lot of that today, we have so much more to give and contribute to the rest of the world. So I'm so excited to share this content with you today. All right. So what I want to do first is share with you our weekly intention statement. And our intention statement is something that I give to you, which is like your mantra for the week, so that you can really repeat it, see it over and over again. Through that repetition, it becomes a new habit in your mind, and you start to live that way. So our intention statement this week is, I have today to be done with what no longer works. I'm just done with it, right? How does that feel? I have today to be done with what no longer works. So what my amazing team does is they create wallpapers every week for you so that you can use this as a reminder for yourself. And on my Instagram page, Diane Forster Official, that's where they are. There's a tab called Wallpapers. And this one's already up there. And so what I want you to do, look how gorgeous it is go there, take a screenshot of it, and then use it as your screensaver for the week. So every time you see it, that's right. Oh, that's right. I have today to be done with what no longer works. And through that repetition of you're seeing it over and over again, speaking it out loud, thinking about it, it's having the impact on you. It's really, really powerful. So you can find that at Diane Forster Official on my Instagram page. And go there, check it out. We have lots of them. Every episode we've ever done, we have one for us. So that's there. All right. So before I get into how to let go of what's no longer serving you, and then give you what I'm going to add into your life, I want you to hear a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. And then when we come back, get ready to go. Have pen and paper in hand, all right? Here's the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right, that's the Spifter. That is my invention, and that is available on Amazon, and it is selling like crazy again. So grab your Spifter there while supplies last. Okay, just wanted to, before I get into the content, I see a comment from Stephanie, and Stephanie said, stop the insanity of doing the same thing over and over. That doesn't work. All right, Steph. Well, we appreciate that so much, right? That's Einstein says that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get different results. So that's not what we're about. We're about intentional living here, and I'm going to help you do this today. All right, so here are some signs for you to pay attention to if you are doing the things that I said. So the first word and emotion and action that I want you to look at for yourself is approval. Approval. Are you someone who's seeking approval? Do you have approval addiction? I had on, two people last winter. I had on Dr. Alok, and he's Dr. Rewire. That's what he goes by. He was talking about approval addiction. And then Lisa Williams was also talking about approval addiction. And I got to say, I really didn't understand that back then. I didn't even know that it was a thing. And then all of a sudden it was everywhere. Isn't that the way law of attraction works, right? But is that you? Are we constantly seeking approval from outside of ourselves? Think about social media and what happens. You do it, you put a post out there, say it's a TikTok video or an Instagram reel or anything, and you go and you want to check what's happening. You want to see how many people liked it, how many people commented on it, how many people shared it. Do you have that approval addiction? And the reason why is when we see that, it gives us that hit of dopamine, right? But what is the significance behind seeking the approval? Why do we need to seek the approval from people we don't even know? Think about that. Think about that. And I'm guilty of it too. I have to keep that in check. I had a video that went viral last week on TikTok, and oh my God, my account blew up and all these things started happening. And I was asking myself, why am I feeling this way? Like, what does this really mean now? And I got to the core part of it, which was, oh my God, I'm helping so many other people. That's what I'm doing. It's not about me, I'm so great, or because somebody is liking it and commenting and saying you're the best thing ever. It wasn't that. I had to check in with myself and go, well, really, the only approval I need is my own approval. That's what matters most to me. So are you seeking the approval of other people? And if you are, ask yourself why that is. Where is it within yourself that insecurity is coming in that makes you have that need for approval from other people? And again, I am going to help you on the back end of this show. I am going to help you with all of this. Oops, sorry, I just hit my monitor. All right. So that's first one, approval. The second one is being overcommitted. Are you ready to let go? And are you done with being overcommitted? Let me know how you feel about that. Is your schedule and calendar so booked that you don't have time or white space in your calendar for you to just be, just think, actually allow yourself to feel a little bored even, right? When was the last time you felt bored? And I'm not encouraging that, but I'm like, oh, I could do anything I want right now. That's really the feeling I'm going for. I could do anything I want right now. Yesterday morning, I had a really, really special day yesterday. I just on a Sunday, woke up, great night's sleep. I went to bed, early the night before and woke up feeling really good, dreamt really well, woke up in gratitude and appreciation, did the list in my head, and then had my feet hit the floor. And I do my morning routine, you guys, which is I starfish my arms and legs out and I say to the universe, I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And so I just put my order out to the universe that I expect miracles. And then I had my meditation. It was so good. I journaled, I had my coffee, and I sort of kind of moved through things like, oh, what do I feel like doing next? All right, I feel like making my bed. All right, what do I feel like doing next? Oh, I'm going to go fold the laundry. All right, what do I feel like doing next? Oh, I'm going to go sit in my office and recap last week because I didn't get to do it on Friday. So I, got everything in my calendar and I wrote my list of gratitude of what I was grateful for. I reflected, created a to-do list for the upcoming week, got a couple details taken care of, and then, what do I feel like doing next? Oh, I'm going to go for a walk on the beach. I literally followed the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. I highly encourage you guys to do this. So more and more magical feelings and emotions started to happen. And then I went to this Reiki presentation and ceremony training that I went with a friend who I have not seen in years. And her daughter died less than a year ago. So this is the first time I've seen her since her daughter's passing. Her daughter was in her young 30s and she died, passed suddenly. And of course, this woman, imagine, she's just still reeling in the grief of it. I just, my heart just went out to her. And so recently connected with her and we decided to do this thing together because we're both into this stuff. And it was a beautiful experience. And then after we went out for tea and I got the opportunity to just be there for her and with her and allow her to just be who she was. And the reason I'm telling you this story is obviously this has devastated her. It put all of her business on hold. And she was working with her daughter. They co-wrote a book together. It wasn't quite finished yet. There's a very long story there, incredible experiences, so much pain, so much trauma in their lives. And she had to just table all that. And what she said to me is, I just am giving myself the space to just be. And I can just all I can do is take it moment by moment. And as I'm sitting there, of course, I'm understanding that and I'm realizing, wouldn't it be nice if all of us could live more moment to moment? And we actually can. We can be more committed to doing that and let go of the busyness. I had a to-do list on my list on Friday. Actually, yeah, it was Friday morning. And I looked at that list and I said, there's only one thing on this list that needs to be done today. The rest of it's just busy work for me. It's not urgent. It's not required. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice, but it wouldn't move the needle of my life, if that makes sense. So I want you to think about how lucky you are to have your today, to have this day right now. And how do you want to live and feel in this moment? And what's on your schedule and your calendar? Or are you saying yes to and committing yourself to that you really don't want to do? It's okay to say no. It's okay to back down and back out of things that you don't want to do, to be overcommitted. Because if you're not doing things that are feeding your soul and making you feel happy and joyous, you're missing the purpose of this journey. You are. So much of life this 3D world is about what is going on with everybody else. You know, we see on social media, everybody looks like things are honky dory, or they're selling things to us, or, you know, they're trying to make our lives better. But we see so much of it that's fake, right? Then we go to mainstream media, and don't even get me started on that, and how much pain and suffering and trauma and hardship there is out there. There's so much fear in all of that information. You got to decide what you're going to let in. And when we see everything that's out there, it's that rush, rush, rush pace. That's what happens to our nervous system. We get in that same mode. So, where could you stop being overcommitted in your life and give yourself the space to just be? Think about that right now. All right. The next thing I want to ask is, are you someone who does people pleasing? Are you a people pleaser? Is people pleasing your thing? You think you got to make everybody happy. I see this, first of all, let me go back to myself. I was a big people pleaser. I know that about myself. I know in my it more in my adult years, I'll say that, you know, when I was in my early 20s, when I started working, that I very much was a people pleaser. I wanted to make people proud of me. I wanted my boss to be proud of me. I wanted, you know, different people in my life to be proud of me. I wanted to make people happy. And so I called myself an assimilator. I said, I'm an assimilator. What I'm doing is I'm assimilating to the person in front of me. I'm not being my true, authentic self right now. And I'm doing this to please this other person so that we could be more in alignment. And it took me a long time to figure out that that's what I was doing. I've heard other people say that they do it. They call themselves different things, like a chameleon. They'll adjust to whomever they're around and start to take on those traits. I remember my job share partner, I would change the way I ate around her because she ate a certain way. Like, how stupid is that, right? I'm not calling myself stupid. I'm not. But like, how silly is that? And so, where in your life are you a people pleaser? Are you sacrificing who you are because you don't really appreciate yourself fully of who you are, because you're more concerned about pleasing the other person because you're worried about how they're going to feel about you? Think about that. Think about that. So, are you a people pleaser? And are you ready to let that go? Is that something you're ready to release and get it out of your life? So, again, I'm going to recap them. Approval, letting go of approval. We're going to do that. Thanks for the hearts and the likes, you guys. We are going to let go of being overcommitted. We're going to let go of people pleasing. And now the fourth one. Are you ready for this? Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Are you ready to let that go? Because here's what I want you to know. Write this down. Put this in somewhere where you see this and you get this and you know this. Rejection is merely redirection in a better direction. It is. Rejection is redirection. That's what it is. So I don't know where we got the idea that people wouldn't reject us or say no to us, like we were going to perfectly align with every single person that we met up with, whether that's a romantic relationship or a friendship or a partnership or a working relationship. That's not so. We are all uniquely different. And of course, we're not all going to align. That's okay. So I worked at Disney for 20 years, and I just recently, chatted with some people, and there's a lot of people getting laid off right now. And one particular person that I spoke to was really upset about it. And, God, I gave them this many years of my life, and this is what they do. And, of course, she's feeling that. She's feeling hurt from the rejection. And I said to this person, you and I spoke a year ago and you were really unhappy there. Couldn't you look at this as a blessing? for the blessing it is, because that rejection in your mind is redirection to giving you the boot out that you really needed so that you can go start creating the life that you really want. You weren't happy there, but golden handcuffs were keeping you stuck there. So sometimes these things happen to us. We think the guy breaks up with us, or the girl breaks up with us, or we get fired from our job, or we get told no. Client, we're having an enrollment conversation with someone and the client says no to us, or a client leaves us, or whatever the thing is. You have a book proposal and you get 10, 20, 30, 50 no's from publishing houses. Like, whatever the rejection is, it's redirection. It's redirection. It always means something better is coming. Every time I get told no, I'm like, something better is coming. So of course something better is coming. So, and it took me a while to get to this place. Believe me, it was not overnight, but I understood by going through and having rejections, the things that I perceived as rejections at the time, sure felt like them, sure were painful at the time, that dots were able to be connected later. Like Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect them going back. I believe you can create the dots going forward, but it's so true. So we can connect them going back. And if we look back, we think, oh my goodness. And some of these dots go back decades. Some of them go back days, weeks, months, maybe a year. Some of them go back years. But if we think about it, oh my goodness, this happened to me and for me at that time so that I'd be ready to be where I am right now because of this new current opportunity. I think about a lot of the rejection I had early on in the reinvention of my life. I had created a lot of different things, different programs, different things happening that didn't work out. And I came to realize now, when things are working out, all of that experience led me to be where I am now, to be able to create and do what I'm doing now that is operating so smoothly, and it's helping so many because of all that other experience. That wasn't rejection at all. It was redirecting me to go this way, go this way, go this way. So where are you feeling that fear of rejection? Because what's happening is it's making you feel bad about yourself. That's what it's doing. It's making you feel less than the extraordinary being that you are. It's making you feel like you're not enough. And that's not the case. That is not the case, particularly in breakups. When someone ends a relationship with you, wants to end the relationship, wants to end the marriage with you, it is not about you. It's not. That's such a hard thing to hear. They are not in alignment with you anymore. You're not in alignment with them anymore. Now, did things happen? Of course, I'm not making a blanket statement. I'm not saying that you haven't been wronged or hurt or cheated on or stolen from or gaslit or dealing with a narcissist. I'm not saying any of that stuff. What I'm focused on for you is to help you heal in the fastest, most positive, permanent way possible. And all of this comes from everything that I'm going to teach you today. It all comes from there. So don't be afraid of rejection. When you get the opportunity to maybe get in a new relationship or partnership or job or friendship, go all in. Go in with everything you've got. Do not be afraid of rejection. Oh, what if they judge me? Or what if they leave me? What if I put myself out there and I open up my heart and then I get rejected? Don't live like that. Who wants to live like that? Go all in everything you do. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone or send an email, send a text to a potential business partner or somebody that you consider very influential with your great idea. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there in the biggest way possible because of rejection. A no just means not now, not this one. That's okay. Move on. That's all it means. I have a client who's in this process and she's, oh my God, she's blooming so beautifully. Was so afraid of the fear of rejection with her brilliant product that she's created and putting herself out there. I said, what are you afraid of? And she said, oh, what if they judge me? What if they don't like it? What if it's, what if they tell me no? Like she's going to feel bad about herself. And I said, what if they don't? What if they actually love it? And here's the thing. You came up with this brilliant idea, and it is a brilliant idea because it's going to help these people. And it's your duty and responsibility to put yourself out there to let them know about it. It's their duty and responsibility to say yes or no to it. That's all there is to it. And so she started putting herself out there and she was getting all these yeses from people that were like, yes, I love this. So it started boosting her, right? So we're so afraid to put ourselves out there, whether it's personally or professionally. Meanwhile, the person it's hurting most is you. Obviously, in the people that are waiting for the thing that you want. But by you showing up fully and authentically as you, without having a fear of rejection, you are opening yourself up to incredible love, incredible abundance, incredible happiness, incredible success, incredible relationships. How about we be done and let go of the fear of rejection? It's not serving you anymore. Can you say yes to that? Yes, I am ready. I am ready to let go of the fear of rejection. And like our mantra, our intention statement at the beginning was, I have today to be done with what no longer works. So I want to advise you guys, please stay till the end, because what I'm about to go into now is what you can add in instead to really enhance your life and help you let go of these things. But I'm going to do a very special mantra meditation at the end, right? And I always do a mantra meditation at the end so that you leave the show feeling better at the end of it than you do at the beginning. But this is a very, very special one. So I'll have more info on that coming up towards the end of the episode, okay? So what we're letting go of, who's with me? You ready? We're letting go of approval, the need for approval, that approval addiction. We're letting go of being overcommitted. We are letting go of people pleasing, and we are letting go of fear of rejection. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. What I want you guys to do right now is this. If you can see me, you're watching this episode, great. And if you're listening to the podcast, I want you to visualize this. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting this, I'm using my hands to create a ball. I call this the pink bubble, by the way. I do this a lot. Think of it like a beach ball. And in that, you're going to put in your approval addiction. In that, you're going to put in your being overcommitted. In that, you're putting your people pleasing. And in that, you're putting your fear of rejection. And now I want you to pop that up to the universe, send it up, and go, bye-bye. I'm done with that. Universe, you handle this for me. I am no longer willing to have those things in my life. I've completely let go of them now. And as of this day and every day forward, I'm not doing it. I'm done with that. I'm fully committed to letting that go. So thank you for taking it from me. And here we go. All right. Are you guys ready? Here's what we're going to do. Now, when we remove, this is part of manifesting. And when I do the vocabulary word replacement, I always give you a word to replace it with, because if we just start, letting go, releasing things, there's going to be this feeling in our mind of deprivation. So you need to have the new habit to put in, right? That always helps for the transformation to happen that much better and faster and easier. Okay. So what I'm going to give you now is what we're going to replace that with. Okay. So when you let go of approval addiction. What you're going to replace it with is self-love. Self-love. Now, I know everybody talks about self-love. It's the catchphrase, love yourself. I'm serious. The only approval that you need is your own. And the path to loving yourself and approving of yourself is unconditional self-love. Love of self is why you're here. Truly, to love you. Love yourself unconditionally, top to bottom, head to toe, inside and out, wherever you are in this journey, perfectly imperfect, because that's what you are. You are perfection, but you are also a work of art and a work in progress at the same time. You are constantly evolving, constantly learning, growing, and expanding. And love yourself. You are a perfect creation of exactly the way you were supposed to come into this experience. Exactly. There is nothing wrong with you. Society, the media, big pharma, all the information out there will tell you differently. I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly the way you're supposed to be. Love yourself unconditionally. You do not need the approval of others. You can let that stuff go. You don't need it. Okay? So love yourself. Think of ways you can love yourself. You can write in your journal in the morning to write. I have that in one of the days in the A Better Today 30-day challenge is write down 20 things you love about yourself. That is a great thing to do. And put that list of 20 things inside your journal so you can read it every day, right? I love my eyes. I love my laugh. I love my smile. I love my teeth. I love my ability to be a great mom. I love my ability to speak really well. I love whatever it is you love about yourself. I love my sense of humor. I love so many things about myself. I love my ability to cook. I love my ability to create. I love whatever it is. Yes. Yes. So true, Stephanie. Self-love is not selfish. It's imperative. It's true. You've got to love yourself, especially if you want others to love you. Okay. Because if they're loving you and you don't love yourself on the same level, you're not able to receive that love. You're rejecting it. You're rejecting it. And if you want to attract incredible love in your life, then you must create the love. You must be that love first. Be it for yourself. Okay. So that was self-love. Now, being overcommitted. What we're going to replace that with is self-trust. Self-trust. Trust your inner guidance system. You are constantly being communicated with your soul, with your spirit, with your higher self, with the universe, and you must trust that instinct and your intuition. Now, how does this play into being overcommitted? When you're overcommitted and you're doing too much, it's sort of because of the need for approval too, but it's that feeling that I need to do more to be accepted. I need to overextend, over deliver. I need to do all of these things on my to-do list in order to matter. Because that's the ultimate thing that it comes down to. If we don't do all the things that we think we have to do, what's my purpose? Why am I here? And if we drill that down even more, I learned this from the brilliant Mark Allen. What it drills down to is that we feel insignificant. And if we feel insignificant, then why are we here? Right? There's no reason to live. That's where it's stemming from. So I want you to trust yourself. Now, here's the powerful law of attraction. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking. Powerful law of attraction, manifestation way that self-trust works. When you listen to your heart and your gut, not your head, right? Head goes into logic and thinking. After you have an opportunity to hear something or be presented with something, if you let your head get involved, it's going to go into logic, and then fear is going to kick in, and distrust is going to come in. But if you go with your heart and your gut, follow that guidance, right? Trust yourself. Okay. So you could even muscle test, which is a great way to trust yourself. And you could do it with your pinky. You could do it with your body. You could do it like this. If you don't know what muscle testing is, I'll do that on another show. But muscle testing is a way your soul knows what's right for you 100% of the time, all the time. It's the most powerful thing. And your guidance is coming. Hey, Danny, nice to see you. So self-trust, trust yourself and ask, is this something I need to do? Do I need to handle this right now? And if you get a no, it's a no. If you get a yes, your finger won't move, or you can't pull your fingers apart, or your body will shift forward, or your arm won't go down, however you muscle test. So trust that, because there are things you are doing in your life that are just busy nonsense things that you don't need to be doing. So trust that. And we all know this. 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 24 hours in each day, and days are going by like this. My goodness, it's May 1st. It's May 1st already. So you only have this moment right now in today. And how do you want to experience this day? When your head hits the pillow at the end of the day, do you want to look back on this day and go, man, this was a great day. This day kept getting better and better. I really enjoyed it. I felt my presence. I felt on purpose. I felt loved. I felt gratitude. Or do you feel like I'm exhausted? I did so much today and there's so much more for me to do tomorrow. Quit that. It's time to let go of that. So trust yourself when it comes to this and tune into it. Just like with self-love and self-trust, you know best for you. This is being selfish in a really good way. All right, third one on the list is the people pleasing. You know what happens when we people please? We're too busy running around, doing for others, worried about what they're going to think. I know you ladies. I know there's guys here too, but I know you ladies. I know you people pleasers. You're doing too much to please other people. And here's how this works. There is also expectation, right? So this is also an episode for another day. I could do a whole episode on letting go of expectation. Expectation is a killer. When you are people pleasing, what you're doing is you are now building up their level of expectation from you. They're expecting certain things from you, whether consciously or unconsciously. That is what's happening. So when you continue to people please for other people, they start to think certain expectations from you. And I can think of an example of somebody right now. This person puts herself out there so much for people. She does so much for people that it's become their expectations that they can just take advantage of her. And her soul and spirit are so pure, and it is devastating for me to watch, right? Because there's so much people pleasing going on and the expectations are there. So then what happens when people have expectations of you and you let them down? They get disappointed. You cannot please everybody 100% of the time. I don't care who it is. If it's your spouse, your best friend, your children, your boss, you can't do it. Expectations at some point is going to be not met. And the people pleasing isn't going to be happening. We can't do that. So don't do things to please other people. Do it because it pleases yourself. It took me a long time to get this. It took me a long time to learn to say no to somebody about something I wasn't comfortable doing, or I didn't feel like doing, or I felt differently about doing, even though they were encouraging me, like, you need to come to this thing, or you need to join this thing. Oh my God, you got to go to this. Whatever the thing was, I just had that self-trust. I have that self-love, and I listened to it. I listened to it and said, no, I'm not aligning with it. I'm not going to do it. So what this is, all the underlying selfish part here, you guys, is self-care. You've got to put your care first above everyone else. I'm not saying don't serve in the world. I'm not saying that at all. Serve well. Serve your family, serve your friends, serve your community, serve the needy, serve people well, but care about yourself first. Please put yourself first, because just know people pleasing is going to let you down. It's going to let other people down, and it's going to let you down. And you can let go of it. You don't need that in your life anymore. It's so disempowering. So where could you practice more self-care? All right. So I talked about muscle testing with the trust. Where could you practice more self-care? Where you're not always in the people-pleasing mode. Here's a great tip. Okay. If someone is inviting you to something, or wants you to participate in something, or wants you to do something for them, let's go there. Okay. In any of those scenarios, here's my advice. It's a process I teach. This one is pause, breathe, think. Pause, breathe, think. I have breathe, think, praise, but this one's pause, breathe, think. Take a breath. Do not say anything at first. Just take that breath, right? You're going to pause, take that breath. And then what you're going to say is, thanks so much for the invitation, or thanks for the whatever. Can I think about it and get back to you? You do not have to answer in that moment, because sometimes in the moment it feels like a yes, or it feels like I don't want to hurt their feelings. I want to please this person, so I'm going to say yes. But the truth is, a minute later, a day later, a week later even, you're going to go, oh, I wish I didn't say yes to that thing. Now I have to go and do that, or whatever the thing is. I got to go help that person move, or I got to go, write that paper for somebody, or I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you don't feel like doing it. Do that. So pause, breathe, and think before you speak, right? Thank you so much. Can I think about it and get back to you? That is the most respectful thing in the world. Because here's the other thing that I know about people. I've learned none of us think the same way. So wherever the person is coming from is their perspective, their way of thinking. They may not think anything of it, right? But you might feel differently about it. I had an experience happen with my sister a couple of weeks ago about something that, let's just say a certain family member wasn't going to come to an event. And she had this perceived idea of why this person wasn't coming to the event. Could not have been further from the truth. I would never in a million years have thought that my sister thought what she thought at that time. And as she said it, I went back and I put all these, connected the dots, like I said earlier, and picked up where that came from. But I had no idea. We don't know what other people are thinking. That's just crazy assumptions. So focus on your self-care first. Honor yourself. Trust yourself. Love yourself, like I'm recapping right now. Do this self-care for yourself. This isn't the self-care like take a bath, do all those things. Yes, do that. I'm taking self-care on a whole new level, just like I did in A Better Today. This whole book is self-care on a whole new level. So think about that for a minute right now, where this is showing up and where you can practice more self-care. All right. All right. Now, the last one is, remember, we're letting go of fear of rejection because it's not serving you. And we are replacing this with self-appreciation. This is the fourth step in being selfish today. Self-appreciation. Where are you appreciating yourself? Are you appreciating yourself enough? Are you expressing enough gratitude and appreciation for yourself, for who you are right now today, for all you've ever been through in your life, both the good and the bad, for giving yourself atta-girls and atta-boys for the things that you've done, the way you've shown up in the world, your accomplishments, however big and small they are. We do not celebrate our wins enough, you guys. We don't, because we're always projecting forward. We're always thinking about what's next. And I did a TikTok video on this. I did day 2 of when then statements on there, which you guys totally loved. But what I said is, what happens is when I thinking is you're putting your goals, dreams, and desires. Well, when I have the money, then I'll go on vacation. When I lose the weight, then I'll start dating. All of those when then statements. And what it's doing, it's putting it out into the future, right? And we don't want to do that. What we want to draw it to us. So what I was saying in there is, when you stop doing that, I gave statements on what to say instead. I am in the process of creating. I am creating, those types of things. Because what happens is when you achieve a goal, the moment after you achieve it, like, you'll celebrate it. Oh my God, it feels so good. But almost instantaneously, you have this thought going through your head going, well, now what? What's next? It is immediate what happens, right? We're always going this way. So where I'm going with this, the way I'm going around this is, we've got to appreciate ourselves right here, right now, for who we are, and know that we are truly never off our path. Remember what I said, rejection is just redirection. So don't worry about don't worry about that anymore, right? That's your opportunity for something better to come in. So when we practice self-appreciation and appreciating everything there is to appreciate about you, what happens is you start radiating that energy out more and more and more. You start raising your frequency and vibration, and guess what happens? It lines up with other people, and other people see it too. So the right people, experiences, opportunities, things that you want in your life start showing up with you because of that self-appreciation. You're vibrating at that higher level. It's really, really fantastic. So what I'm going to do for you guys today, before we end the show, is something related to self-appreciation. Instead of my regular mantra meditation that I do at the end, I'm doing a special one, and it's called intentional self-appreciation. Because while all the selfish things I gave you to do today are important, this is one of the most important. And I bet you have never in your life, thanks, Allie, never in your life, love you guys for being here, had self-appreciation on this level that I'm going to share with you today. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to stop for a second before we get into that, because I want to shift the energy, and I want to give you the opportunity to start to implement some of this stuff in your life in a very, very special way with a program I have called the Happiness Formula. Now, the Happiness Formula is a very 21-day easy, very easy to do. You can actually binge it and do it a lot faster, but it looks at the 8 key areas of your life, where you are now, and then where you want to be in the next year to 3 years from now, and breaks down how you can close that gap by getting super intentional like I did today. And the reason why it's so powerful and why it works is because you cannot hit a target that you don't have. And so when you get clear on that, you will start manifesting it quickly. But instead of just creating the goals or whatever, I give you the roadmap on how to do it. But I also teach you of the things that you have to let go of, which is what we're doing today, which is so incredibly powerful. So that is something that is so amazing. It works so well, and it's super affordable. And so my team is going to put the link up for it here. It's $44, you guys, for the Happiness Formula, to have something that has the potential to really change your life starting today. Because once you enroll in it, you get instant access to it. So I wanted to give that opportunity for you and that invitation for you today. So, all right. So now what we're going to do with our last few minutes is we're going to do this mantra meditation. So what I want you to do is, if you're driving, obviously you can't close your eyes. You can tune in and listen, but my goodness, please keep your eyes on the road. And then also anybody operating any machinery of whatsoever, stop doing that. Stop doing that. I want you to tune in and just take this literally 3 minutes with me. That's all it is to have this powerful shift happen for you today. Now, this is coming out on a Love of Self mantra meditation album that I have coming out. This is really, really powerful. So I want you all to close your eyes right now, taking a deep breath, and hold it, hold it, hold it, and blow it out like you're blowing out birthday candles. Oh my God, that feels so good. Now I want you to put your hand on your heart and one on your gut. And breathe in again through the nose and hold it, hold it, hold it, and let it out like you're blowing out birthday candles. That should feel really good. Keep your hand on your heart and your gut right now. And just listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to intentionally appreciate everything about myself. I am so powerful, so special, so worthy, so talented, so beautiful on the inside and out. When I look at myself, I make it a point to intentionally focus on the things that I love about myself, because I know when I focus on that which I love expands. I see less and less flaws and things that I don't love about myself. I only focus on my greatness, my grace, my gifts. And I know that by living with that intention to stay focused on just how powerful I am, just how worthy I am, just how smart I am, just how deserving I am every single day, my life unfolds in extraordinary ways. By intentionally appreciating myself for exactly who I am, I live with better health, better clarity, greater focus, fantastic mindset, healthy energy, loving romantic relationships, powerful connections with people who I'm supposed to be aligned with, like-minded people, and an infinite flow of financial freedom and abundance. It feels so incredible. I know the power of appreciation. I understand the way it works. That which we appreciate appreciates. It gets better through that positive, powerful energy and gratitude and appreciation. More and more things for me to be grateful for and appreciate for show up into my life without any hard work or struggle. It happens so easily. It flows right into my life. I live an intentional life, focusing my intention on my health by making healthy food choices. I focus on my mind by nurturing it every day, learning something new, reading and practicing and perfecting new skills, enhancing myself and my arts and talents. I live intentionally in my love life. I love my partner, and even if I'm not with someone right now, just by loving the idea of a loving my partner and setting the intention to live in that romantic love every day, I am a magnetic attractor for my amazing romantic love partner. I live intentionally in my career, and every day I focus on offering value to every single person in my life that I come in contact with. I live intentionally with my spoken word. I choose my words wisely, offering only helpful, loving words. And most importantly, I live intentionally when it comes to my self-worth. I appreciate the gift that is my life, and I don't ever take it for granted. I live intentionally in every area of my life, every day of my life. And because I do that, I have full gratitude and appreciation for myself, just as I am. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I hope you felt that shift. I hope it pierced through your soul and you are elevated and vibrated to a higher dimension. I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate all of you for being here. I am here every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, but please do follow me. Follow me on Facebook and on YouTube at I Have Today with Diane Forster. Follow me and E360 TV and my podcast. All of that's I Have Today with Diane Forster. But for everywhere else, you guys, Diane Forster Official. Especially follow me on TikTok. My account is blowing up. Follow me on all other social media platforms. Nothing but inspiration for you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Happy today. Sending you love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.